everybody, Brian back here. We're going to take a look at Caspa, take a look at Bitcoin, see if we can see if alt season is coming or what's going on here, right? See what Bitcoin dominance is doing, see if it's starting to crash down, and take a look at the rest of the market. Look at Caspa, 12.2%, beautiful, nice bounce, came right down into our area where we talked about and said that we needed a bounce in. We're going to take a look at that here in a second. 24-hour volume, 110.86 million. Beautiful. That's up quite a bit. Market cap 1.36. Rank number 56. We're up 4 spots. All right, we come over here on Trading View. Bitcoin short squeeze flushes out late longers as funding turns negative. Classic capitulation signal. Yeah, I mentioned this a while ago. I think Bitcoin has topped. Yeah, I showed everybody the 5 waves. I showed the bearish divergence numerous times in there, right? Oh, good. There's Mon. There's our take profit. Might as well show you real quick, right? We ended up having a trade there over in Discord. If you want to join us, that's a level 3 membership in the description of the video. We'd love to have you. We had a nice winning trade here on Mon. Pull it up here in just 1 second. As soon as that comes up, we'll come back and show you here. But Bitcoin is struggling to reclaim the $90,000 level as selling pressure continues to dominate across the crypto market. The sharp decline from the all-time high has fueled growing speculation that the current cycle may have already peaked. Yeah, see, people talking about it now. With many analysts now calling for the beginning of a bear market. Sentiment has shifted rapidly and fear is spreading as traders question whether the bullish structure has been permanently broken. And we have broken a trend line. I'm going to show you that. However, not everyone agrees with the bearish outlook. A segment of market participants still expects a rebound, arguing that the correction is part of a broader continuation pattern rather than the end of the cycle. This optimistic observers believe that higher prices could still unfold once selling exhaustion sets in. According to top analyst Dark Frost, the recent price action reflects a notable behavioral shift in traders. He explains that investors who attempted to long the market throughout the correction have finally been squeezed out. Funding rates, which had remained elevated during the decline, have now cooled and even turned negative, a strong signal that sentiment has flipped. Dark Frost notes that traders waited for Bitcoin to correct more than 30% before shifting aggressively into short positions, highlighting a delayed reaction that often appears near market inflection points. Funding rates flip negative as short dominance takes over. All right, so yeah, squeezed out a lot of people there. You're always going to get a bounce. You should, right? I mean, that's just how it goes once we have these dips. Here you go. Here's Monad. We took a long position on it, right? Let me show you. Right about in here in this wedge. Somewhere in here, right? I ended up getting in down here somewhere. Let me show you what kind of move this ended up being. All right, ended up being a, how's that, 19% move. Do the math. On a 10x leverage, that is almost a 20x, on your money. So if you had $100 on this, on 10x, 10 times 20, 20% times 10, 200. I'm sorry. You double your money pretty much. Yeah, I was thinking 20x, man. It sounds kind of high. No, you would have doubled your money. Just on this short move. This didn't take very long. This 10-minute candles. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, what? A couple hours. Doubled your money. If you were on a 20x, you 4x'd your money. So nice move. Great job, everybody. That was our take profit, 48.08. Bang, right on the nose. Hit it right on the head there. All right, I can come over here and actually show you. Some people probably say, "Oh, bullshit." You just put that there for the video. There it is. Boom, 48.08. Right, 5 waves. Expecting this to probably, maybe come up a little bit further and then correct back for probably a fourth wave of the bigger move here, right? Probably got 5 waves in this monad move, but you had 5 waves inside of wave 3. All right, that's what we were playing here. 1, 2, 3, working that third wave, and coming up here. Let me show you right here, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what it ended up playing out. That's what we got over there in Discord right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, like I said, it's probably going to go a little bit higher here. The 1618 is up. But you want to play it safe. You don't want to. 1618 is up here 5 cents. You want to play it safe. You don't want to get greedy and say, I'm going for 5 cents, and then have it roll over and lose all that money, right? I mean, just be happy with a win, take your money, and, before somebody else takes it, right? Might be all the higher it goes. We might have nailed that one right on the head. The RSI is spinning back up on the 10-minute, the 15-minute. Let's see. Might start getting some bearish divergence. 15's looking exhausted here. Right now, we just got a new 15-minute candle. Right down here's your time. You can see here it's struggling, right? But don't underestimate this. It could push up to that 5 cent range, right? But I took my profits. You might, don't, like I said over in Discord, don't be greedy. Take your money and go. Let everybody else squabble over the extra. If you get it, the extra, what is it? Let's see. So there. Oops, sorry about that. Let's check it out real quick. It's another, 4%. No use in hoping and wishing over that, right? Just get out, go home, and be happy. Right, man, we nailed it. 48.08, bang. See you later. I'm out. So it's nice to win a trade, right? You don't want to, but don't get greedy, right? If you're in profits and you're close to the take profit zone, get out, right? Don't play the games, because this could roll over real fast, and you could watch your $1,000 or whatever you got start declining very, very quickly. I've had it happen numerous times, and it's very disappointing, right? So if you want to trade with us, come over, sign up for that Levels 3 membership in Discord. We have 150 some members. Would love to have you. It don't matter if we're going in a bear market, bull market, whatever. We trade every day. If you're a day trader, you trade every day. You come out here and look at these charts and you trade. There's always moves in the market, right? There's always stuff running or dropping. Always. Don't matter, bear or bull. Look at this, turning over on that 15. So congratulations, everybody that got in that. Nice job. All right, so let's take a look here. Let's go over to the charts. And first off, let's take a quick look at Bitcoin. See what's going on with it. Oh boy, I bet you the Fear and Greed Index, I haven't looked at it for a while. I'll bet you it is just crushing people right now, right? Let's take a look. And I'm not laughing about that. I'm just saying, just the sentiment, out there of everybody's scared, everybody's panicking, selling. Here's your, let's see the Fear and Greed Index up here. It'll be up in here. Fear and Greed at a 15. Yeah, it's getting down there. And usually these signal bottoms, right? When the Fear and Greed gets down in these zones, that's price down here, and the Fear and Greed Index, right? You're down here, look at the double bottom, shot right up. That's where we're at now, down here. We're going to get a retracement or not, right? That's what we're looking for here. Let's see if any of these market cycle top indicators have triggered now, right? None of them. That's crazy. Not a one. 0. None of these have triggered yet, saying a top is in. Wow, wouldn't that be crazy if every one of them were wrong? Or maybe, maybe it's going to fool us, I don't know. I kind of doubt it, just the way the chart is looking. Let's go over here and look at it. Caspa's having a great day. let's look at first off Bitcoin dominance, right? I mean that means a lot right now. Let's go into daily, open this up, take a look at it. Nice big red candle, boom. There we go. Starting to drop, right? It is dropping. No question about that. I mean, it's coming down. Let's go out in a weekly. Nice. You know, that's what you want to see. We want to see this thing crash down, right? You know, hopefully a nice big drop here, right? Way down here. Want to see, you know, a nice push to the downside. I can see right here, you know, it looks like it's definitely going to drop. You can see right in here what's going on. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? You can see that right there. Well, we want a bigger drop than that, right? I mean, this would give it a target down. You know, if you use the wick, 54 and a half. If you use that wick up there, 53.3, 53.2. You know, that would put it down in this area down here, right? We're looking for it to come the whole way down here, though. Yeah, that's what we're looking for here. So hopefully, on the bigger picture here, let's go on the monthly. You know, we have a something else forming out here. You know, hopefully this is just the beginning of a bigger, you know, move down, like something like this. You know, 1, 2, way down here. You know, I want to see this thing plummet. You know, and head down. You know, somewhere down here. You know, even to the 40% range. You know, we want to see this thing plummet. I truly believe it's going to. I mean, come on, you have to. I can't see it staying up there. You know, even if Bitcoin has not topped or whatever, you know, you're going to get, you know, right over here is the altcoin season in 2021. Then your bear market, right? You know, and we start chugging back up. Should be an alt season in here. I mean, it doesn't have to be, I guess, right? But even the measurement of this wedge, though, that's forming, will give it a target down here. You know, around in the 30s. That's the measurement of your wedge, right? That's how you get your target for a wedge. And we're being, you know, we're putting it right in tight here. You could measure it, you know, out of here. So right there's your measurement. Put it on the breakdown. You know, we'll put it, let's see here. Yeah, somewhere right around there. You know, it gives you a target down there. That's where it should go, technically. Okay. So we'll see what happens here. Is heading to the downside, though. That's a start. On the monthly, you got 9.5 and an 8.3. You actually got a little bit of, it's turned bullish here a little bit on the monthly, right? The weekly, let's see what we got on the weekly. The weekly's heading straight down, right? I mean, that thing is heading at 63 and a 79, straight to the downside. The daily, bearish, you know, but down at the bottom, right? It is, you got it down at the bottom, but it could stay there for a while. The RSI, you know, it could stay down there at the bottom, but looking for this thing to plummet for sure. All right, so we are having Bitcoin dominance drop. It's down to 58.55. I mean, this thing was up in the 63, 64. If we take a look at Bitcoin here, 87.4. It's up $89. It's going. Which one do I want here? Yeah, this one will work, I guess. Right? Wait, because I showed something in the last video that I wanted to show here. Was that it? Bitcoin. All right. Well, guess not. But what I had in here, I talked about this thing coming down, and then doing, you know, retracement back up to this line. All right, we're out on a weekly chart right here. Okay, you can see Yeah, here it is. You know, I put a target down here for this thing to possibly pull down to about 78.6. Okay, I put this line here. Why'd I put that there? If you take the fib, all right, if this plays out, it comes down here, all right. Um, what I'm looking for, is a run down here, okay, then a retracement, not down below that line, sorry, back up to the 618, test this area as resistance, and then a rollover, okay. That's what I'm looking for, and hopefully the altcoins run. Um, if we get this retracement back up, that's what I'm looking for. All right, if we don't get it, and this thing just keeps going down, that obviously would be bad news, right? The weekly RSI, beautiful, perfect. 0.66 and a 0.98. That thing could turn up at any time. Your monthly is definitely bearish for sure, right? Let's pull this up. Look at this. There's bearish divergence in here. I showed this multiple times, right? Multiple. You continually have lower highs in here. I mean, from the start back here, right? This is monthly. If you go back to, this is 2011. Yeah, you got your high right there. And what do you got here? 2013, boom. Continually lower highs on the RSI here. 2017. There's 2019. And here we are over here. 2023. There's that high. A lower high right here. And a lower high. All right. Showed this continually, especially this one through here, right? We ended up showing this one here quite a bit, the bearish divergence, not what you want to see, right? You definitely don't want to see that coming in on there, but looks like Bitcoin, it's broke this major support. Like I said, what we need, I think it's topped, quite honestly, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Don't do your own research. Then not financial advice. Don't listen to anybody on YouTube. Unless they're financially able to give you that advice. Legally and all that kind of stuff. But in my own personal opinion, I've showed this multiple times. You have 5 waves here on Bitcoin. One, and I'm a believer in these Elliott waves. 3, 4, 5. All right, and what do you get after that? Normally you get an ABC, all right, or big 5 waves down, which turns into an ABC. But we're looking for something like this out of Bitcoin, hopefully, right? Come down, bounce back up, and then a rollover. Me personally, I think 60,000. Right down here. I think maybe that's a bear market low. Maybe it goes lower, maybe it don't, right? But back here in 2017, you had your, this was your high here. It came back down pretty much to just retest that area. Actually it came down to right there, retest the high back over here, and it took off. So looking for something like that, retest this high back here in a bear market, and then shoot up. So, and this is a monthly chart. It could take a long time for that to happen. You look back over here, had this run up, 1, 2, 3, 4, yet, I don't know how many months in here, a lot, 2, 3 years in this action here, but it finally came down. That was the low, 16,000, right in that range, and then it shot up. So we'll see if that's the low in the bear market here. 60, right around there. Maybe it wicks down a little bit deeper. We'll see what happens, but going to be looking for a bounce out of Bitcoin here, hopefully. All right, and I want to see it hold this area and see what happens here. Let's look at the 12-hour. Zoom in just a little bit. Took a little long on Bitcoin earlier today. 12-hour, right at the top. 4-hour. 4 hours turning back up here. As you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves there in Bitcoin. It took a little like I said, took a little long on this thing. But if we zoom out, let's see this chart real quick. Oh yeah, that was that ABC. You know, a big thing that will show you a bottom. Um, you know, if when a bottom does come in, is a break of a trend line. You know, put a trend line up here in this thing, pull it down. You know, and watch and see if you know, if Bitcoin comes up and breaks it or Bitcoin gets rejected off of it. There it is there. Let's take a look. I'm going to see something real quick. Right, you got that trend line. Let's move this out of the way. Just curious. Yeah, where that would put this, you know. And put it back up around a 382 if it, you know, if you look, if it comes up and hits the 382 here, you know, it gets rejected. That wouldn't like that very much. That would correlate with a 5-wave down move. Let's see what we got in here. Yeah, we'll just have to see. Hopefully it comes up here. You know, and hits that 618. That's what we're looking for. But anyway, let's go over here to Kaspa. We looked at Bitcoin dominance. We looked at Bitcoin. Let's take a look here at Kaspa, one of the biggest winners of the day. That's awesome, right? Let's take a look at our chart here. We had our box. There it is. All right, let's put out on a weekly. Was that it right there? No. Wait, no, that's not it. I apologize. This was it. Right here. Okay. Worked out perfectly. If you go back and watch the last video, this was it. Right here. All right. Talked about possibly, you know, maybe I'm crazy, right? A 5-way back up. Could happen, no doubt about it. Absolutely could happen, right? Looks like it did the, you know, pretty much the measurement of this wedge. If you put a, you know, if we did like with dominance, you know, maybe came up a little short. Then, you know, pretty close, right? Right in that area. You got your width of your wedge. Bring it down here. Yeah, pretty close. Right, so that's what I'm talking about with dominance. You know, that's what we're looking for. Drew this target area here between the 382 and the 50% retracement. That's typical of a wave 2 pullback, right? The quicker you get the bounce on wave 2, the better. The better strength that's going to be in this push. I truly believe that. Now you got a trend line coming down through here, right here. You can see that it right down through here. If you connect it here, either way it's broke, right? It's taking it out. Good news for sure. This thing is making a very nice push. Came right down into our box here, right into here, into this area, and boom, there you go. Let me know if you took this trade on this thing, if you were watching this this target that we had or not. Now, would a move up here be possible? A retracement back up there? Absolutely. Absolutely, man. If you come out now people are going to say, oh, horseshit, you don't know what you're talking about. Hey, and yeah, and it could roll right over and plummet too, right? Especially with Bitcoin more than likely topped. Absolutely could happen. It could end up rolling over just like everything else. But we are back down, you know, at some very crucial areas down here for Caspa. Hasn't been in this price range since August of 2023, July, the summer of 2023 here, right in that range. You know, and it's making its way back up. Look what happened last time it got to this area. You know, look at that run, same exact area we're in now, right at the same spot, right there. You know, and look at that push that thing made. I'm not saying it's going to do that again, but that would put it back up in the retracement areas, wouldn't it? That's a big push. But wow, look at that. Look at the, follow this over to the right, your dotted line. That would put us right back in retracement areas, wouldn't it? Right back into the 618 area, typical retracement zones. Now, we take a look at the RSI on this thing. If you would hit the like and subscribe, guys, I'd appreciate that so much. Look at that weekly RSI, relative strength index, beautiful. Down at the bottom, you know, oversold, ready to turn up. Monthly, kind of just started a monthly here, but it is at the bottom, right? It's down at the bottom. Your daily, let's see here. Caspa could make a serious run. Daily, heading up, getting near the top, right? Getting up there near the top. Now, for this thing to make a run back up into this box, what kind of percentages we looking at here? Right from where it's at now. Let's see. What kind of run is that? Boom. Yeah. 160% roughly. Is that possible? Sure. You know, especially if we do get some type of alt season here and that dominance starts crashing. And how did I come up with this target? I went off the top, just looking for a retracement zone right up the top. We'll just use that. Good enough. Hold it down. And there you go. All right. Puts us right in the 618 retracement area. And we'll see what happens. You know, we'll see what happens. That's all I can say. You got the weekly RSI. Looks absolutely beautiful. Every time it gets down to the bottom, last time it ran up, okay, when it was at the bottom, it made a 130% move. Over here, when it was at the bottom, okay, this is just from the bottom, from where it's at now, made an 85% move. All right, over here, this one here, what was it? You know, make some nice moves when your RSI is at the bottom. You got it ran from here up to here, 90%. Okay, then you got this one over here, another big move when the RSI was where it's at now. It's always made massive moves. And right here, you had a 95% move. Okay, and then this one here, of course, that was a monster. Alright, it made a pretty good run. Wow. About a 200% move. Okay, so every single time this RSI has been at the bottom, it has made massive moves. Here, here, oops, sorry about that. Here, here, here. You can look up the chart as I come over with the dotted line and see. Right here, look at this one, go up to on the price when I get there. That move there, let me get this off here. You know, every single time, you know, it's made massive moves. This one here ran way up. This one over here ran way up. That one there, way up. This one over here, nice move. Even this little one here, it wasn't at the bottom, but we're at the bottom again, okay? I don't see it run making no little dinky push here. It could, you know, could come up, hit this as resistance now, roll right over. All right, we don't know, but the chart looks pretty decent, right? Weekly RSI, you have a break of resistance, you have a 50% pullback here. It didn't come way down deep in there, came right into our box, right where we wanted it. I wish I would have took this trade. I had some other stuff I was looking at, but this was absolutely beautiful. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Right in there and right out. You know, if you were on a 10x trade on this thing already, you know, to go from there, you would be up a lot. Wow. You'd be up almost a 3x already. And this thing has a ways to go, right? So if you threw $100 on it, when it got down in here, you'd be up about $300 now. So not a bad move. And, you know, especially what if it runs up to that retracement? What if you stay in this trade and it does go up there? You know, what if, you know, kind of a little bit dreaming here, but very, very possible, right? Definitely possible. Um, it's what about a 200% move right around in there, right? It's one of 10x, 200%. Yeah, you'll 20 extra money. Wow, that's a nice move, right? But if you had a grand on that and you 20x that, well, you know, that's on a 10x. What about a 20x? You know, 30, 40 extra money. Um, that's the type of trades you want to make for sure, right? And you can still get in this thing on a pullback. If you go on a 4 hour or 1 hour, look for a pullback. That's how I look. You got one, two, three. Um, this thing is looking. Oh yeah, looks like a fourth wave. Could do an ABC here, and then a fifth wave up. Look how it came right into our box here. Came down out of it just a little bit, but perfect. Rode up and is on its way. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves there, and on the bigger picture, 1, 2, 3, 4. You got this one heading up. Looks like just a little bit higher, but you break it down. You get in on your smaller time frames. If you sign up for that level 3 membership, you get over what is it, 20, 25 videos to watch, also to teach you how to do this stuff. If you break this down in here, you can see what's going on. I break it right down to the 1 minute, man. I have a live video I did on Bitcoin on the 1 minute. I doubled my money in like, I don't know, 5 minutes on that video. It's in. You can see it live trading on there. I only did it one time, but on here, but definitely pretty cool. All right, you can see this RSI got pretty high in here. Could have a correction here, A, B, C, and then another push to the upside here. Looks like Caspa's heading up to 5.5, 5.6, 5.7 here within the short term. Obvious break of resistance, right? Right down through here. Just snapped right out of there. You have a line here, here, right through here. Let's take a look where this thing is heading short term, right? Now, like I said, you're going to take out the. You're going to see. It looks like it's going to make a new high, right? That's what you want to see, a higher high over here. Put this on here. Definitely want to see a higher high, and it looks like you're going to get it. If it pulls through up to about 5.5, right up here, I'll take out this high over here. If it does an ABC here, um, it's gonna go higher. Say pulls down a little bit down into here, then you're looking up at 5.5, right around that area there. And you want to get a higher high than over here, so right here. Okay, so you want to take out, what is that, 5.4. All right, be nice to see. Get a higher high. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth wave coming on Caspa. Looking very, very good, man. This thing is looking great. Nice big move today. This thing is pushing out of here, so we'll keep an eye on this. I'm sorry, guys. I had some personal issues to take care of. Been a little bit behind on the videos. Look at this, 47%. Wow. I had some, you know how it goes. Personal issues at home. Not so much me and my wife, but a very good friend, and I just had to take care of some things. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are the only reason I do this, and I appreciate each and every single one of you. Hopefully we get a very beautiful run here. Let's go, Caspa. Get moving up there. That 47% move, we'll take it for sure. Let's get about 10 more of those. That'd be awesome. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much.